Mr. DeKnight.
Mr. Oleson, it is a pleasure. I think.
Yeah, well,
I think for everybody that doesn't know, when I watched season 3, I reached out to you to tell you how much I loved it. It was a thrill. It was really, really thrilling for me to sit back and watch Daredevil, not having gone through the process of actually making it, which as you know is very, very difficult. And just to be able to sit back, able to sit back and enjoy the show just like a regular fan was a real, real treat, and I really loved that season.
Well, so in the spirit of that, like, I obviously was in awe of season 1. I loved what you did. I was very excited to build on top of it, I actually met with Drew Goddard for season 1 way back in the day, and was envious that you eked out ahead and got to do that. So, truthfully, I would not have been ready. I would not have done as good a job as you had, and I hope your shoulders have recovered from me standing on them. Building season 3 on all the cool setups, because as we all know, like, the first season of any show is the hardest. It just is.
It was tricky, and I had the benefit when I stepped in. I guess this is a smooth segue into how did we get involved in Daredevil. I had just completed Spartacus for Starz. And I was
great show.
I had finished developing a show called Incursion, a big military space show that ultimately did not go for expense reasons. So I was on the last, I think, 4 months of an overall deal. And for everybody out there who doesn't know, an overall deal is basically when a studio pays you a chunk of money just to work for them.
That's a retainer.
Yeah. So I was on the last couple of months of that, and it was great because all I was doing was staying home thinking, and they were throwing money at me, which, is very nice. And I got a call from Jeff Loeb, who was the head of Marvel Television. I know Jeff. I met him when I was on Buffy. He was developing the animated series, and that's how we met. And then we worked together on Smallville. So we go way back. Of course, I knew Drew Goddard. We worked on Buffy and Angel together. Jeff called me up and said, hey, would you be available to come take over Daredevil? Drew has a previous commitment. It was, I believe, the Sinister Six Spider-Man movie for Sony at the time.
Right.
And I said, well, no, I'm really comfortable, but send me, Drew had written drafts of the first 2 scripts. I said, send me the first 2 scripts. I'll take a look. I read them, and my first reaction was, damn it, they're good. And I love Daredevil, and I've always wanted to work on a Marvel property. So that's how I got kind of sucked into it. And I had the great advantage that Drew had already written the first 2 episodes, and he had a framework for the season. So I always say that, basically Drew wrote down the recipes, and I came in and cooked up the dishes. And it was fantastic. I mean, it was a very strange process because Marvel Television really wanted to push the limits. They wanted to go darker than the features were allowed to go, but it still needed to be just below R-rated. So it was,
and Netflix was still inventing itself at that point. You guys were one of the first original show. It was like House of Cards and Daredevil really are the things that kind of set up the whole
and of course
Netflix television.
I think Netflix wanted to push it further. Marvel didn't want it to go quite so far. So there was a lot of I remember when we shot that infamous episode at the end, I think it was at the end of episode 3 or 4, where Fisk crushes the guy's head in the car door. And, everybody was really nervous about that. And the original cut was, I'm not kidding you, like 4 times longer he was smashing that guy's head.
Yeah, Vincent gets into it. I did a callback to that scene. I had him kill an FBI agent with his own coat and beat him to death to his coat in the car. So I was like, I got to tip my hat to you guys from season 1. I'm like, I was looking for a way to do my car door scene.
Yeah, and another great segue, Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, my God.
I love that guy.
Not only is he fantastic, I don't know what your experience was. He was lovely to work with. Absolutely lovely.
Oh,
amazing.
We're friends to this day now. Like, we text, he got my girlfriend to put me on a diet, which was terrible because he got on a diet, and I will never forgive him for that. But he's just one of the sweetest, most down to earth guys. Very passionate artist, obviously incredibly talented. When you're starring in a Stanley Kubrick film at age 19, it's kind of hard to just that level of experience and years and years. I absolutely loved working with him. I mean, the cast, I have to say, it was one of the, to this day, it's probably my favorite experience. Just the talent, the passion, Charlie, just such a great collaborator. Like, he and I would go through scripts. He had a lot of trust in me. I had a lot of trust in him. If he said, "Can we break up this dialogue because I could do this," or Deb could interrupt me and we could make it feel more, and we'd all just workshop it really fast, and then it would come out and it felt so real and in the moment. And I loved that.
It's such a great cast. And Charlie Cox, I think, is what every man should aspire to be, because he is the most centered, gracious, kind. His energy is just phenomenal. He is one of the seriously nicest guys I have ever met in my life.
Yeah, and just a pro. I mean, it's fun in the edit room because you get so many different interpretations of the same line. There are a lot of actors that we know that kind of set a line reading for themselves in their head, and then when you watch it in post-production, every take is exactly the same, which does not give you much of a toolbox to shape the scene. But the real pros do something different every time, and it's or they'll know, oh, was that one out of focus? Okay, and then they give you that one again, but then the next time it's something different. So that is that's Charlie, that's Deb. I actually, I also cast Jay Ali on season 3. He was fantastic. I put him on Carnival Row. He's on Carnival Row now. And Joanne Wally is also on Carnival Row now. I put her in the show. We never announced that, so that's probably something I wasn't supposed to say. But anyway, Vincent and I was talking about grabbing Vincent at some point on the show. I'm just going to go. My hope is to just work with awesome people and then drag them into the projects as soon as I can. Joanne Wall is on my short list for everything. Yeah, she's just a terrific person.
So, how did you get involved in season 3?
So I was hired to be a writer on Heroes, the NBC television show.
I seem to recall that little show. Yes.
Yes, and the Writers Guild went on strike the next day, so I never ended up working. But I was hired by Jesse Alexander and some of the others there on the staff. It was like Brian Fuller and Jesse Alexander and Jeff Loeb and Tim Crane, this whole amazing posse of people. So I never actually got to work with them on that show, Michael Green. But then right after that happened, in short order, I ended up working with every other member of that room in different capacities. And Jesse Alexander had created a show called Day One, which never ended up going. It was an NBC series.
Yeah, I remember.
J.J. Abrams actually did our theme music, if you can believe that. But it was Jesse hired Jeff Loeb. So Jeff Loeb and I worked together on a TV staff, breaking 13 episodes, and we became friends out of that. And then, years later, after I'd done Kings with Michael Green and worked with a bunch of the other folks from the Heroes writing staff that I never got to work with, Jeff brought Daredevil to my attention. I met with Drew the first time, and I wasn't aware that Drew was going to be leaving, and it was before he actually was leaving,
right?
Basically to be the number 2 on the show. And then it kind of, I went over and did a show called The Man in the High Castle for Amazon. And then Daredevil came around, and Jeff called me up, said, "Hey, would you like to pitch on it?" I said, "Sure." So I pitched on it, which is basically the season 3 that we have. And Jeff, being my buddy, definitely helped me shape everything. Like, I mean, it was Jeff, the 2 of us were close cahoots figuring out what season 3 was going to be. And so then, I thought, okay, that pitch went really well. And then I got this call like, well, Marvel's got to go through its process and meet all these other people. And I was, honestly, I was kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
So Abby and we got in the car. I thought I'd done all this work. I didn't realize I was working for free. So we took a drive and we drove like just across the Southwest and, took a drive. And then eventually I'm like, I felt like a tremor in the Marvel force. And I'm like, I think we should start heading home now. And she's like, really? Okay. So we started heading home. Phone rang, and it was Kareem's Reek. It was Jeff Loeb and Kareem. And he said those famous words, "Welcome to Marvel."
Yeah.
And said, "Your life is about to change." And he definitely changed my life. I'll give him that, for the better. And I told him, he gets free sushi for life from me because it changed my world.
Yeah, that's and they're honestly lucky to have you. That season 3 was just you realized one of my favorite characters, Bullseye, which I think anybody that read Daredevil comics as a kid, he's a favorite, and the way you portrayed him, and the way particularly you maneuvered around a very tricky costume for him, I thought was fantastic. Putting him in the Daredevil suit was really just brilliant.
Well, thank you. We had a really good time doing it. Of course, as we were looking at the comics, there were different interpretations of Bullseye and varying degrees of, there were a lot of very cartoonish versions of him. And my approach, I like grounded, realistic storytelling. Like, how could this be real? Like, you could say Nolan-esque in some ways, or like it's heightened, but like, I really like that feeling. So I was interested in what would turn somebody who would have to have those kinds of skills and talents into Bullseye. And that's what we decided to do. And obviously Wilson Bethel is what just worked the hell out of that role. There were a couple, Willie and his fiance and Abby and I do escape room double dates to this day. And every single time, now it's all virtual on Zoom, right? I still give him crap about this scene where he ends up punching a wall in Daredevil season 3. I forgot what episode. I think it's like episode 4 or 5 or something. And like Fisk is messing with his head and he punches a wall. Well, he missed the spot on the wall that had been built for the breakaway wall, and he punched an actual wall and he broke his wrist and his arm. And he kept going through the scene and just went through and performed the whole scene before they called cut. And he said, "I think I broke my wrist," and he did. And we had to rearrange the whole production schedule around it because the poor guy. But I mean, that's actually in the show. He broke his hand and wrist in that scene. So that's a level of dedication. Let that be a lesson to all of us, right?
That is dedication. He was fantastic in the role. And I thought his introduction with Fisk trapped in the car and Bullseye just, back when he was just an agent taking everybody out. And my God, that scene in the office building where he's just hucking, staplers and pencils It's everything. Reading it as a kid, reading it in the comics that you hope for. And again, what I love about it, and what we tried to do in season 1, and you built off so fantastically, is just that grounded reality. What would this really look like? And when I saw that scene of him throwing pencils at him, it's like, it feels completely real. You don't doubt for a second.
Yeah, well, you set that template. You set that template for us. You really did, like, the allowing scenes to breathe, to go deep into the character. Like, what would it really be like to go through these kinds of experiences if it were possible, right? If this world were real. And that really, it's fun to build off of, because you set a template where we were able to go for emotional truth and to suck an audience into a scene, making it feel real. And I have a kind of a filmmaking technique called deep point of view, which is a rule for me. And it ties into, that's how I'm shooting Carnival Row now also. It's like, it ties into lens selection, like who the camera follows, like there's a whole list of rules, but basically it boils down to sucking the audience into the experience as if it were really happening to them, as opposed to watching it from afar, like it's a spectacle that they're detached from.
Right.
And so the very talented directors that came on to season 3, we talked about that at length. And the case in point of that, that sequence was very much about, like, well, whose point of view is it, and weaving into it, and it just makes it all that much more intense. It's a trick that works really well on television. I think you're a big movie director now, but we can't generally afford these gigantic Marvel scope spectacle scenes, and so, like, the technique of latching the camera to the emotional experience of the point of view character, whether that's Daredevil, whether it's Foggy, whomever, like, really allows you to get more bang for the buck, and also to just make the story good and emotionally involving.
Yeah, and you really hit on something there that we really pushed in season 1, and you continued, which was letting scenes breathe. And this is something that a lot of viewers may or may not notice. It's generally a constant issue with writers and showrunners when you're working with studios and networks. Studios and networks are generally concerned about people losing interest. So there's a constant pressure to cut a scene in half, only make it 2 pages. Why is this going on so long? Right. And that's one of the things in season 1 we really fought hard against, is cutting scenes too short. A great example in season 1 is when Matt is struggling with whether or not he's going to kill Wilson Fisk. And he goes to see Father Lantom, and they have this really long conversation where Father Lantom tells this story about a warlord and, evil. And I
love that scene. I use that as a template, actually.
Fantastic.
I use that scene as a template.
And it's a very long scene. And it's the scene that stands out to me that I had to fight people off with a stick because they wanted to cut it. And they say, it goes on and on and on. It's too long. It's boring. And
well, thank you for fighting that battle, because honest to God, that's the difference for me between, like, network television and premium streamer television, right? Like, because you and I both have worked on network television, and you're always ramping up to the commercial break. It's a different, it's just a different business model for the financiers, for the studio who is deficit financed it, has leased it to the network to air domestically, and has sold it to foreign territories. So there's like a real reason they do it that way. But one of the things that I take my writing staff through in the beginning of the process is, first of all, I'm a big Robert McKee nerd and John Truby, and I'm kind of a big screenwriting technique, like, dweeb. And I take everybody through kind of my version of how I think writing should be done. But one of the things that I noticed is something called a sequel scene. And this is hopefully not too much in the writing weeds for the Daredevil fans, but most scenes, the structure is a character comes in with an objective, they hit an obstacle, and then they either get what they want or they don't get what they want, right? That's a scene. And if you watch network television, that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 right? But a sequel scene goes on. So you start with that first half. Character has an objective, they hit, sorry, my camera went out of focus here. They hit an obstacle and they get what they want or they don't. But then the circle continues. They have an emotional reaction to whether they got what they wanted, did not. Like, then there's a dilemma, a choice between two goods or two evils that they must do rights or do wrongs. Then they make that decision, is the moment of decision. And then the cycle begins again. They go into the next scene with an objective. And what I realized was that all of my favorite scenes in Breaking Bad or Sopranos, or like the scenes where Tony Soprano's pouring himself a bowl of cereal and staring out a window while he's deciding whether or not to kill a friend, or it's Walter White lighting matches on, by the pool and just throwing them in, deciding whether or not he's going to go do the next dastardly deed he does. Those all live in the sequel scene on the other side of it. And when I watched Daredevil 1, I was like, oh my God, this guy understands sequel scene. Like, you had those scenes that go on and the characters were real.
Yeah.
And when I say, I mean, it is literally a technique that writers can employ to make scenes breathe. And what I found is, and you had already kind of, softened up the beaches for me, but like, I go through and I teach my executives, my supervising executives, this technique. And what I find in the end is they're like, what about a sequel scene here? Maybe we should let the scene breathe. So I actually teach them why it's so good and why it makes the show premium.
That's great. And it really shows. And I think that's one of the things that I really loved about season 3 is that I really, really felt that and appreciated it. And like you said, it's the difference between network TV and streaming or premium cable is having those opportunities to let things just live at their natural pace and not have to worry about building to that commercial break or ending on a hook so the audience comes back after getting a sandwich. It really, and I think it's something that worked so well with particularly Daredevil out of the 4 Marvel shows, and I enjoyed all 4 of them. But Daredevil is a bit of a different beast, I think, because of source material. The character of Matt Murdock is so conflicted at his core of being a lawyer and a vigilante, and those two things, and throw in Catholic to boot. And
it's contradictions. I mean, a dimensional character is literally defined by the built-in contradictions of that character. Yeah. So at its core, what was designed was already just a great engine for story, just the character himself, Murdoch and Daredevil. So, but you totally kicked ass of season 1, man. I'm so glad that I got to stand on what you guys have done. Like, I mean, all the little details that you planted, the white, the rabbit in a snowstorm, the white painting, which I almost bought and put on the wall.
Yeah, me too.
Terrible Marvel. I didn't want to. Yeah, I was just like, some fans out there are too wealthy. Like, that was, my girlfriend almost killed me for buying that one. You would think Marvel would have given it to us, but anyway.
Oh, you would have think, yeah, man. As you know,
they needed the money.
The Daredevil suit I bought was really expensive.
Yes, yeah, I saw. Yeah, you're a wealthier man. So
I almost threw up when I bought that one. But
I thought for sure I was going to be outbid, and when I won it, I was like.
And I'm honestly, I'm so glad that you have that suit. I have this suit.
Yeah,
it just feels like that's where they should be.
It's fun. It's also, Abby brought a plumber in at one point, and the guy dropped his, he saw that and he freaked out. At first, he thought there was somebody in the house, and then he recognized it, and then he didn't want to charge me for cleaning out the bathroom because he was just taking selfies with the shoes. So, I just have to have a few thousand plumber visits in order to pay back the.
Should we dig into some questions?
Yeah, sure.
Because I got a feeling you and I could just chat all day.
All right. So let's see. From Team Save Daredevil, share your Marvel origin story. How did you land the show? We got that one. I think we both did. You both took the reins from somebody else's vision already in place. Steven taking over after Drew Goddard left and dealing with the high expectations from comic book fans, as well as those who were unhappy with the previous live action adaptations. And Erik, coming in on the third season of a series that was extremely well relieved and beloved. Can you talk about the challenges of having to take over something already established and how you made the season your own? Once you start, how did you make the season your own?
Yeah, well, like I said, Drew had the first 2 episodes, rough drafts written. So I had that template, and he had a structure for the rest of the season, 1 or 2 sentences for each episode. I think the biggest challenge for me when I came in was time, because I think we only had those 2 scripts, and we had, I want to say 3 or 3.5 months before we were supposed to start shooting, and we hadn't cast anybody. We were still, looking for DPs and production designers and all of that. Right. But story-wise, I had the ingredients. It was really just getting in there, giving it my added extra sensibility. And Drew and I have written scripts together, so we are very much on the same page. And and the pressure I felt is I love Drew Goddard like a brother. I think he is brilliant, and along with Charlie Cox, one of the nicest people you will ever meet. So I didn't want to, accidentally murder his baby. So that was my pressure. And really, I just got in there, and, Jeff Loeb and I were on the same page. We wanted this to be grounded and gritty and realistic. We wanted it to feel very much like a premium show. Not all the way HBO, but edging in that direction. And then, as you know, it's just a matter of you roll up your sleeves, you get in the room, you start talking, you start typing, and you work furiously. It's interesting. You never really know what you have, especially in a season 1. And after we had finished the season, I confided in my wife. I said, this might ruin my career. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know if people are going to dig it, and because it's very, very different.
Are you a planner or are you a pantser in the Stephen King kind of model? Do you obviously Drew had laid out some signposts for you, but those always change as you work. But do you your process from scratch? So you had a couple of scripts. Talk a little bit. I'm curious, how you arc stuff out. What's your process?
Yeah, well, since I had the benefit of the first 2 scripts, we really built off that. We kicked the tires, we tightened some stuff up. And we looked at each of, one of the things I didn't have was with the criminals, with the Japanese, the Russians, the Chinese. They were all there, but there was no plan set out. They weren't, particularly differentiated. We knew they were criminals, but we didn't know exactly how they fit into the puzzle. So one of the first things we did, we said, let's take a look at each one of these and figure out what do they bring into it. So Madame Gao brought the drugs in. The Russians with the taxi thing, they were the distributors. And then, of course, you got the hand in there, which Fisk has to deal with. So we kind of had to construct that. And then once we had that, I'm very much a planner. I want to know where things are going so we can set it up properly. So, we spent some time on that, figuring out, okay, where are the milestones? What do we need to lay in? And Drew had because he had a basic plan for the whole season. This episode is about this episode is about that. I think we only ultimately changed one of those because of the way the story was playing out. But yeah, for me, I always feel coming into a room, especially for a season, I want to know what's the beginning, middle, and end. And then we start filling it out from there, just like doing an episode or a film script. And how about you? How do you approach it?
So I zoom out at like a higher level, and I usually in the writers' room will have a quote. This is going to sound a little pretentious, so just go with it for a second. But it's a Jorge Luis Borges quote, which is art equals fire plus algebra. And algebra is the techniques of writing, all the stuff that we know how to do, make a show, right? But fire is what's the point? What's the point of using all of this algebra to tell a story, in our case, or a painter to paint something, or a novelist to write a book or whatnot. And what's the point? And that it's art if you had something to say with all of this technique, right? And so I spend a lot of time in the beginning of the process of any show figuring out, why am I about to go spend tens of millions of dollars of somebody else's money to go tell the story? Like why? Right. Like, how is it going to make a mark? How is it going to be something where hundreds and hundreds of crew and cast are going to be excited to go show up at work and make this thing, aside from just the paycheck, right? And something that hopefully is socially relevant or that will make the world a better place. And so I start with, Robert McKee would call it a controlling idea, and I start kind of there, and I'm saying, if it's true that all art is problem solving on some level, like, what is the problem I'm trying to solve with $100 million of Netflix's money, right? Like, and in the case of Daredevil season 3, and the fact that I was able to build on to the fist that you had constructed, I wanted to tell the story about a rise of a I'm trying not to say the word. Let me see. How can I dance around the word that I'm trying to? The rise of a very powerful politician who controls the levers of government, who is a corrupt to the core individual, and how one can fend off the rise of such a character. And in the case of season 3, it was the power of the free press via Karen, the power of the law, Foggy and Mad, and then, of course, the power of collective action. Together, including Daredevil, they're able to take down Wilson Fisk, who is this person who has managed to co-opt the federal government and is corrupt to its core. So I was trying to. That was one of the underlying themes of season 3, but that helped shape a lot of everything. And honestly, like, when I was talking to Vincent and Charlie and Deb and everyone in the beginning, the idea that we were going to fight for democracy with season 3 of Daredevil was something that it became more than a job. It was a passion. We all were like, you know what, here's something that, there's a reason that Fisk lives in the presidential hotel in New York. We were not too subtle about it, but, just kind of pushing back on something. And with Carnival Row, what I'm doing now, it's a very anti-racist kind of show. And like, that's what we're doing. But again, it's all very much about, for me, my process begins with, okay, some corporation's given me a pile of money, and now I need to make that count for something positive. That's how I start. And then, we go in and we design the different character relationship, the character web, like, okay, well, how are we going to use the Matt Foggy relationship to be one thread of that overall larger idea, right? How are we going to use the relationship between Matt and Sister Maggie? How are we going to, and so that when you add all of the different character internal arcs and external relationship arcs together, the tapestry of all of that adds up to what it was I was trying to say at the beginning when I laid out the controlling idea for the room. So it is a giant jigsaw puzzle, but it is very directed and it's very deliberate. And I definitely drive some of my writers crazy, but I want to make sure that what we're doing adds up to something. That's my process.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Obviously, order one is entertainment. We want people to be entertained when they watch it. But I feel the same way, is especially the older we get. I want to make sure that what I'm investing all of my time and energy in and all that money on actually has a deeper resonance. And that's something we also tried to do in season 1, is we really wanted to highlight the disparity between the super rich and basically what's becoming an economic slave class, and really highlight Fisk as one of those shadowy, super rich people that controls more than they should.
Yeah, I love it. You set the template that I was able to then say, aha, he is a political filmmaker. He had a political underpinning to the season. I'm going to do the same thing. I have a slightly different version of it because of recent events since season 1, but you did that, and you touched on something also, which is, our first job is to please the crowd, is to be entertainers, and to give the spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down, so that whatever it is we're saying is accepted, right? But that's also an exciting and unique kind of power that television writers, showrunners have nowadays, right? Because like people's guards are up. They don't want to hear people preaching to them or talking at them. But when you involve the audience with a character who they relate to, and that character goes through a journey, vicariously, that individual who is watching that character go through the journey also goes through that journey. So you could, in theory, take, not related to Daredevil, but you could bond the audience to a character who goes from some very negative kind of personality aspect to a positive by the end of the story. And maybe, just maybe, the audience that related to that character will have thought, maybe I shouldn't be so much of a racist, or maybe I shouldn't be so much of a, sexist, or maybe I shouldn't be so much of, right? Yeah. We have that power to kind of like lead people to the promised land of like, hey, wait, remember that character that learned the lessons that you're supposed to learn in real life? Maybe you should take some of those home with you. So you just have to do it very carefully.
Yeah, I agree. Nobody wants to be preached to. And honestly, that's, I would be loath to give up the entertainment part of our job to preach at people. But as we both know, there are many, many, many opportunities to drive home important social messages in entertainment without getting preachy.
It's true. It's true. All right, more questions, shall we?
More questions.
Any fun or interesting behind-the-scenes stories from your season that the fans wouldn't have heard about yet?
Jesus, I think I've told just about all of them. I can't think of any, honestly, that I haven't talked about before. How about you?
I don't know that anybody knew that Wilson's hand got broken. That was a big deal. Should I go to the season 4 drawer?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Before you do that, I do have a story that I don't think I've ever told about
all right.
Peter Garrity. He played in episode 1. when Matt's dad is at the boxing ring. Matt has already had his accident, and these two goons come in and basically tell Battle and Jack Murdoch that he's got to throw the fight. The shorter, older fellow, Peter Garrity, people might remember him from Homicide: Life on the Streets. He's a really great actor. Right. Interestingly enough, he was originally cast as Owlsley, Leland Owlsley. And we shot that entire scene with him being called Leland Owlsley. And shortly after that scene, it was either before or after, he had seriously injured his knee. And he had to drop out because of a knee problem. So we quickly scrambled and we cast the amazing Bob Gunton to come in and take over the role. And then what we did is we went back and re-edited that scene in the gym to
take out the
Owlsley thing and change his name off screen. The weird kind of funny, tragic part of this is shortly after we cast Bob Gunton, he, I believe, tripped over a suitcase at the airport and really hurt his knee.
Wow, so Owlsley is doomed.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he falls to his death. So you wrote that into the...
Yes, and he falls to his death. I remember there was some question here about Owlsley in the mention of he has a son in season 1. And that was, in fact, we were setting up the owl from the comics was going to be Leland Owlsley's son, who was out for revenge for what happened to his father. I
was building on that in season 4.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. So tell me about it. I would love to hear where that was going.
Well, I don't know the extent of the NDAs or how that still works anymore now that the studio's been canceled. But what I will say is that season 4, I was going to hopscotch. I was not going to directly pick up the Bullseye storyline because his back was broken and he had to heal. I was going to bring him back in season 5 is what Loeb and I figured out. And season 4 was going to be Typhoid Mary.
Fantastic choice.
Alice Eve. We were doing a.
You were planning You're planning on Alice Eve to play Typhoid Mary.
Yes, I had a different version. I had a much different version of her than what Raven had done in Iron Fist. But I was kind of rebooting what she was going to be like, and we were going to do a, kind of a warped love story, murder mystery, kind of femme fatale, but kind of a modern day feminist version of it, as opposed to kind of the older sexist kind of femme fatale archetype. But we'd broken it. We'd broken more or less the entire season when we got canceled. So that was heartbreaking. But Owlsley was going to be one of the key figures in that season as well. So we had a really intense but different kind of season because I didn't want to just do season 3 again. I didn't think I was going to be able to pull that off, honestly. I had to take a different tack. And then I had plans for season 5 for how that would all kind of come back together. But anyway.
The other thing, I know that was continued through all 3 seasons, was slowly setting up Melvin Potter becoming the Gladiator.
Yes,
which we had always talked about, and we loved that character so much.
He's great. He's a terrific actor, a terrific guy. I had to negotiate or have our people negotiate with James Cameron to get him because he's obviously in the Avatar movies and was on the other side of the world. But again, I was planning to continue with Gladiator as well because in season 3 like he basically had to go on the run. Fisk forced him to, to build the suit for Bullseye. So like I was answering kind of some of those story threads as well. But yeah, Gladiator. I mean, it's such a fun playground. Yeah. It's a shame that the plug got pulled, but such is the life in Hollywood. At this point, I think I've done like 20 television series. I mean, it's just like you blink and these things are gone. So
yeah.
Sorry for the fans who hear me say that. I know it's heartbreaking, but it'll come back in some form at some point. These Marvel characters always have a kind of an endless cycle of rebirth, and I can't wait to see what the next crop of filmmakers does with it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I totally expect Daredevil, whether it's with this cast or a different iteration, of course it's going to come back. It's hopefully it'll be like Spider-Man. It'll just keep evolving. Yeah, it's interesting because, when we did season 1, there was a lot of concern that people wouldn't be interested because of the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. And I always defend Ben in that movie. I thought he's a fine choice for Matt Murdock for the big screen. It was a different time for superhero movies at that point.
Yes.
Very, very different time. I think they have evolved and they've grown, and, they can hold their own against any other kind of genre, whether it's, drama, comedy, anything.
I think that's true. And I think, honestly, we owe a debt of gratitude to Chris Nolan for kind of resetting that for us, too, because there was no version of doing the Daredevil that you did and Drew did in season 1 without what Chris Nolan
without a doubt,
and kind of making that acceptable, that you would treat a superhero in a grounded way.
Yeah. No, and just the way he shot the Batman movies, doing it in Chicago. We of course did ours in New York. But one of the things I loved about the Nolan movies that we really tried to incorporate into Daredevil was using the city as a character. Because New York is such an amazing city to shoot in. Mm-hmm. It's, as I'm sure you know from your experience, it's an incredibly difficult city to shoot in, but it's worth the trouble because on screen it is just spectacular.
Yeah, like I went to NYU. Like I've lived in New York on and off numerous times. I love New York City, and in terms of the tiers of just the depth of the city. Yeah. Like if you just take a snapshot of any corner in New York City, there's like 17 different stories going on in that one shot. And it's a wonderful tableau for any kind of television show. Yeah. And I'm writing a pilot now where I'm hoping to go back and do, part of it there. So, I miss New York.
It's so amazing. And for all the incredible things that we shot in season 1, the long hallway fight and all of the action and the intimate moments, one visual moment that always stood out for me, it's such a small thing. It's Ben Urich meeting the old crime boss down by the river with the bridge in the distance. Yeah. It just, nowhere else can you shoot something like that. It gives you tingles.
We had Matt in roughly the same spot, kind of crawling out of the river at the beginning of season 3. Basically, dude, I just tried to rip you off in every way, shape, or form. I'm like, how do I do my hallway fight? I want my hallway fight. Oh, I know. Yeah, we'll do a prison break sequence that goes on for 11 and a half minutes without even...
Which was fantastic, by the way.
That's the only way that we could... And honestly, that was the idea of Alex Garcia Lopez, the director, and Leland Owlsley, who was on the set, and they kind of called me up and said, "Hey, we think we can do this." I'm like, nuts. Like, how are you going to do this whole? They pulled it off. I mean, but again, we were just trying to build on what you had done with that hallway scene, which at its time was just nobody had seen anything like that before. It was, and then everybody raced a copy, and then there was like all these other shows that tried to do these long, elaborate fights. I'm very proud. I'm just bummed out that our stunts team wasn't able to show the clip for Emmy consideration.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
I mean, they were like, no, you're only allowed to submit 3 minutes of stunt clips for the Emmys. And it was just like, well, wait a minute. Like, the whole point is they did an 11.5-minute thing.
It's ridiculous.
But the Academy wouldn't let us submit it. So
absolutely
we didn't even get nominated.
Ridiculous. It's interesting with the hallway fight at the end of episode 2 in season 1. When I got the script from Drew, it was written as, and this is all one shot. And all of us were like,
that's awesome. He's like, this is all one shot. I'm going to go work on a movie now. See ya. Figure that out.
And by God, I was determined that, yes, it was all going to be one shot. And we had a lot of discussions about it. We looked at locations. We obviously finally decided we can't shoot this on location as one shot. We need to build the hallway. And then it was a problem of, okay, we built this hallway, we've reinforced the walls so they don't shake, but there's no room for a camera guy in there during this fight. How the hell do we do this? And our DP and our director and our stunt coordinator, they all came up with this brilliant idea of putting the camera on a track in the ceiling. And then we digitally erased the track in post. So there is no camera guy there. It's the camera guys are on the roof pushing the camera and moving it from up there, which was, incredible.
I didn't know that.
It was like such a great idea. And when we had the premiere, Netflix premiered the first 2 episodes. Drew Goddard was there, and I think it was the first time he had seen them complete it. One of his first thing was he said, man, I just threw that in there about the one shot. I didn't think anybody would ever do it.
Well, you were faithful to your friends, and you set the template that I followed. And, I think probably between season 1's hallway fight and the prison break of season 3, those are 2 of the most talked about scenes of the entire Marvel, not just the Daredevil show, but probably the entire Netflix Marvel television franchise. So thank you for taking Drew Goddard's 1-sentence suggestion and turning it into reality, because it allowed me to convince them to let me go do something even crazier. So
I loved every 11 minutes of that. It was spectacular.
Oh, man. Well, shall we wrap it up, you think?
I think so. I think
it was fun. I could talk for another hour, but
so could I. But
sadly, work.
We are busy men. We have other shows we've got to get out there for people to enjoy. And I seriously appreciate all the fans and their support. It was an amazing ride. It ended too soon, but the fans were just absolutely incredible with this show.
Yeah, I second that. Like, honestly, the fans of Daredevil have changed my life. It has been the most fun ride. When I get those napkins from the Save Daredevil, or I got the stuff, the picture books that you guys put together, and it just it makes me want to cry with gratitude. I absolutely loved the experience, and the fans are a huge reason for that. So, and anytime I'm on a Zoom now with Carnival Row or anything else, this dude is standing right there. Everybody is reminded, okay, you got to talk to him if you want to give me notes on my next script. So
I have got to get my Daredevil suit in here behind.
Yeah, you got to get it up.
I got to get that going on.
Now that we just live on Zoom,
yeah.
Nobody's going to have offices anymore. You just need to put your bouncer over your shoulder.
Well, Erik, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, you too, sir. Take care. Thank you. Bye.